What's going on, everybody? I'm relationship expert Terry Duran, and today I'm going to be talking about the choice to cheat. Seems like a real controversial topic. Every time it comes up, there's a whole lot of back and forth dialogue. So I'll just provide some context for it. I'm going to give everybody a minute to get logged in. Those of you that are watching on Instagram, I appreciate y'all tuning in live. Those of you that are watching on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the page. Give me a thumbs up. That way you can be alerted when I drop something new. Be sure you go check out my new podcast, More Than Love. You can subscribe to it or download it, iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you find your podcast. Just search for More Than Love. So you'll be able to reach me and get these type of discussions from me on demand. And it's actually a video podcast, so you can actually listen to me or watch me actually explain things if you choose to. So got a couple options that we got going forward. All right, so I did a video about this topic, but had some technical difficulties, so I wasn't able to post it. But it's something that I definitely want to have on my YouTube page. So I'm going to talk about it again, even though it's something I talk about on a regular basis, right? All right, so today we're talking about the choice to cheat. What makes a man choose to cheat? And a lot of times when this topic comes up, you hear a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we know that there are some people that just cheat just for the sake of cheating, right? But let's not talk about them because those don't represent a large percentage of men or women, right? Most people cheat because they're unhappy about something or they're missing something out of their relationship. That's the primary reason. If you talk to several different people that have been cheated on or have cheated, like I do, you can get to pick up and figure out what are the most common explanations or the most common thought processes that led to it, right? And so for most men, right? Now let's talk about men that have something to lose. They have a child with the woman. They're married. So just leaving means financial repercussions. It means a change in lifestyle. It means a change in your residence. It means a lot of different things. And so whenever this whole idea is just leave, you should just leave. You know what I mean? It's very annoying from a male perspective, to be honest, because it just disregards all the things that men are required to take care of in their lives, right? And then on top of that, then to even, all right, the idea of it doesn't make sense and ignores a whole bunch of very pertinent details. But on top of that, when a man actually does leave, he gets criticized too, right? So it's like they say, if you're not happy, just leave. If you instead of cheating, just leave. And then when a man just leaves, he gets treated the exact same way he did if he would have cheated. So it's like, why in the hell would you listen to a woman's perspective on that? You know what I mean? And the reason why men don't listen to it is because, one, the law's set up in a woman's favor. And over 85% of divorces or situations where there are financial or real important ramifications to a breakup, the man's usually the one that loses. Paying alimony, paying child support, paying spousal support, giving up the house, give her half of your retirement, have her be in control of your child, have her be childish and petty, miss your appointments and schedule visitation, all the type of stuff that men constantly tell women about. But somehow, whenever we talk about this conversation on just leaving, all of those things are blinded out. Kind of like trying to talk to white people about racism, right? I don't see color. I don't see race. Like, you get all these annoying ass responses where it's like you are intentionally not paying attention to reality in order to maintain that stance, right? So when we talking about just choosing to cheat, right? You get a whole bunch of silly assumptions made by women. A man that it's part of your character, it's part of his DNA. He just did it because he did it. But when you talk to you pull men on why they cheated, you observe how women respond to men complaining. Like, because there's this general consensus. You should come talk to us. You should communicate. You should tell her what the problem is. You should just tell her, and she'll listen, and she'll adjust, and everything will be all good. Right? That's what we get sold. That's the commercial on cheating. What happens when I break down, when I point out the problems men have with women? Oh, you're bashing women. Oh, you're hating women. You hate women. Right? Like, this is bullshit. They instantly call it bullshit, instantly disregard it, instantly ignore everything. And I explain it on a level that I get men from all around the world that thank me for explaining things in a way that they couldn't put the words together themselves. So I'm giving a very thorough explanation on these things. I'm not just giving y'all cliches. I'm not just giving you some vague ass phrase for you to interpret. I'm not giving you just something empty that you have to go figure out yourself. I go live. I break down topics. I bring on experts. I allow you to ask questions. I give analogies, scenarios. I use real world examples to clearly articulate the things that I'm talking about, and women instantly ignore it. There are women, y'all see comments on my page where women, I'll post something that women like, and women will be like, this is the first time I ever agreed with you, Terry. And so it's like, damn, out of 3,000 posts where I'm explaining a male perspective that other men agree with, this is the first time I've ever said anything that made sense to you, that reflected the world that you live in, or something that other men have told you. What's more likely? You just ignored all the other times that you've seen these things, or this is really the first time you've heard this information? Because I don't talk about anything new. I don't make up any scenarios that we haven't seen in every city, every country, every state. So I'm not making up anything new. But there are women that will act like they've never heard of these things before. They've never heard that not giving a man pussy makes him want to get pussy somewhere else. They've never heard that not listening to your man makes him want to communicate or have somebody else to confide in. They've never heard of none of these things. Not making your man feel attractive. Not making your man feel wanted. Creating an environment where it's always tension and arguments. They've never heard that these things lead to affairs. Right? This is brand new information to these women. That's why they want to ignore it when we talk about cheating, right? That's why they just say, you chose to cheat. You made the choice. Don't every choice that we make in life have reasons behind it? If somebody asks you why you live where you live and why you drive the car that you drive, I'm pretty sure you have explanations for it. Well, it's by my daughter's school. It's near my job. I like the weather. You're going to have reasons why every choice you make has reasons behind it. Except when you choose to cheat. When you choose to cheat, there's no reasoning behind it. There's no logic behind it. There's no explanation for it whatsoever. How is that the only choice that a person can make where there's no reasons behind it? How is it the only choice that a person can make where there's nothing tangible or no logical explanation for it? That's where you get the conflict, because men can clearly explain their reasoning. They can go through all the processes. They can bring I did it before. I spent years voicing my complaints to my wife before I cheated. Years of explanations, of conversations, of conversations on the level that I explained to y'all, and it was still ignored. So we have proof that doing what y'all say does not mean that there are going to be any changes. A man coming to a woman and communicating what his problems are is usually met with something that discredits his argument. She brings up something that he did. She deflects, right? She completely ignores it. She goes on an emotional rant or makes it an argument, and you're bashing me or you disrespecting me, and steers the conversation completely away from what he's trying to interact or explain to her. Don't we see that happen in the comments of every post? I can specifically put a question up on my post or show the question that I was asked. Comments will reflect something completely different. Women will go on a rant in my comments. You said this and you're a misogynist, Terry, and you this. And when I clarify or ask them to explain how any of the stuff that they accuse me of fits the actual definition, they don't respond. They don't type back. So we see what happens when men present things that women don't want to hear to them. We see what happens when men criticize women. When you criticize their thinking, their behavior, when you actually hold them accountable for the things that they do in relationships, it's problematic. It gets met with hostility, disrespect, disregard. This is not new. This is stuff that men see every day. That's why there are thousands and thousands of pages that give the female perspective and talk about what men do wrong and talk about how hurt women are and talk about all the shit that women have problems with. And that's also the reason that there are so many women that come to one of the only pages that really gives an authentic male perspective. And what do they say? You should give the female perspective. You should tell the other side of the story. You should talk about what men do. Do y'all think that they go to those other pages and tell them, hey, ladies, this ain't fair. This ain't fair that y'all only talking about what men do wrong. Y'all should talk about what women do wrong. Do y'all ever see comments like that on those pages? Fuck no. You never see that. Think about that. So there are thousands of people that do what y'all give the perspective y'all want to have, but you go to the one page that don't and try to convince them every day to give the perspective that you should give. You should tell it. You should talk in the way that they want you to talk. You should say it how they want to say it. That's letting you know that they just don't want to hear the male perspective. They really don't give a fuck what men think and feel. They really don't give a damn. They got the divorce laws in their favor. They got the child support laws in their favor. The only thing that they don't have in their favor or that they can't control is making men commit. That's it. That's it. They cannot get men. They cannot force men to commit to them. That's why. That's the majority of the questions that I get are about how to get the man that I want to commit to me or stop cheating on me. So these are the type of things that men deal with, and these are the type of things that I'm always explaining to y'all lead to cheating. Now, yes, a person gets to make the choice to cheat. That is absolutely true. But it is also very true that that your actions and the way that you treat your partner can directly influence their desire to cheat and their desire to be in the relationship. That's also very true. That's something that you cannot ignore. It has to be taken into consideration. And when you get the perspectives of men, I was a side dude for multiple women. I know what it's like to be why they were cheating on their men. Why they would be sleeping with somebody that made less money, that did not love them, that did not want to be with them, that did not give them the world, that did not buy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know why they were choosing to do it with me, because conversation with me is a lot better. I didn't create drama. I didn't create tension. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made it comfortable so that they had an outlet to go talk and get some dick. You know what I mean? Like, I met needs that they were not getting met from their spouse. It was very, very simple. Very basic logic. And it's the same way for men. A lot of women make it difficult for their men to enjoy being around them. You know what I mean? Like, they make them not want to come to them with problems. And so when we're talking about these situations where a man has kids or is married or whatnot, men don't just want to leave their kids. Like, y'all might not think that's important to some men, but being in the house with their kids is a very big deal to some men. Men that spend their whole lives preparing to be good fathers, to be husbands, right? They don't want to just live in an apartment and give their ex-wife thousands of dollars and have her living in the house with a new man, having their kids with a stepdad. All of these are reasons why men that are unhappy or not getting their needs met find alternative ways to get those needs met. cheating. It gives them the opportunity to be able to get their needs met and get away with it. Like there's this idea that why would a man cheat if he's just going to get caught anyway? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. People don't do stuff like that planning to get caught. You'll never see no bank robbers planning a bank heist talking about what kind of sentence they gonna get if they get caught. They're not thinking about getting caught. They're planning and operating as if they're going to get away with it. Nobody's cheating thinking about what's going to happen if they get caught. That's just how we operate. You know what I mean? So when you have some people that are in those type of predicaments, if you actually listen, it's very common when you get the explanations on why they chose to do it. There's a chance that they can get away with it without getting caught. There's also the chance that even if they get caught, they'll be forgiven. So both of those scenarios are less punitive than just walking away. Man, just a woman that's married or doesn't realize how frustrated her man is with her, doesn't realize she's been pushing him away for years, doesn't realize he fell out of love with her, just leaves one day. Fuck it, I'm done, man. I'm about to go get my own crib. Shit, I'm gonna pay you child support. You figure it out. Y'all know damn well he's finna get crucified. Y'all know good and well she's not gonna say, okay, I'm gonna be as fair as possible. I'm gonna be extremely reasonable. I'm gonna take everything that I was doing wrong or that pissing you off into consideration. I'm gonna take the blame for what I did to the demise of the relationship. Y'all know good and well that's not the narrative. Y'all know how often women take the victim perspective. I talk about it all the time. Y'all see firsthand how women automatically take the female side, automatically criticize men for doing the exact same thing that women do, criticize men for doing the same things y'all suggest men should do. We see what happens when men just leave. Y'all automatically find a reason why he's wrong for leaving, how she's better off, how he wasn't shit. Y'all all show us this over and over and over again. The man's always going to be wrong. So when you create a situation where all of the options are going to have the same result, the person making the decision is going to make the decision that gives them the most benefit. And in most cases, that's cheating. Right? If your kid's gonna get their ass whooped for eating the cookies and get an ass whooping for not eating the cookies, guess which option they just gonna choose? They're gonna eat the motherfucking cookies. And they gonna get an ass whooping in both scenarios. They're going to choose the one that gives them the most benefit. That's how basic the thought process is. So when a man leaves a relationship, even if he gave her, all the questions that I get, she gained 60 pounds and we see y'all's, you better love me as I am attitudes. We see that shit. You need to change, but you better accept me as I am and love me for me. We see that hypocritical ass stance that women take. Right? Let's not get amnesia now. Let's not forget all the memes y'all make now. Let's not forget all the shit y'all post and put out hashtag facts and put all the emojis under. Let's not ignore the shit now. We know that's what y'all believe and that's what y'all support. That y'all retweet. Right? So let's not just get selective amnesia when we're talking about why somebody chose to cheat. Because the logic behind it is pretty simple. Do men know that cheating is wrong? Yes. Is it wrong to ignore your spouse's complaints? Yes. Is it wrong to have I don't give a fuck how you really feel type of behavior? Yes. All those things are wrong. But you can't just choose the final choice that they made that's wrong and only act like that's the whole story. That's usually not the case. So, yes, People know cheating is wrong. But the reasons that people make the choice to cheat are often very logical. And from their perspective, if they have tried to resolve the problem, tried to talk about the problem, gave you several opportunities to correct the problem or improve, show effort towards improving the problem. That's you. Most people that are quality people do all of those things before they actually go through the motions of cheating. And that's why they often feel so justified. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when they get caught and it is what it is, they feel justified if they've been talking to you about it for 3 years. If they've did multiple things to try to make you happy and you haven't been doing the same. Of course they're gonna feel like they was justified. The problem is a lot of men or people that get caught cheating can't be brutally honest at that point in time. Because they're usually trying to salvage their family. They're usually trying to prevent having to pay alimony and lose their house and all the negative hits that come along with just leaving, right? So they're in this mode where they're trying to tell you what you want to hear so you can forgive them and give them another chance. Oh, I was just a moron. I don't know what I was thinking. I was the dumbest person ever. I don't know. I'm just an asshole. Instead of telling you, well, you still only give me pussy once a week. You still barely suck my dick. You still complain all the fucking time. It's still impossible to have a conversation with you. He can't just list off a list of things on why he cheated on you or what he loved about his side chick that made him choose to fuck with her. You know good and well he can't tell you all that shit when you done went through his phone and caught him cheating and or threatening to take his kids away. So he's not. He's applying logic. He's applying common sense. It makes more sense to just take all the blame, act like you're a dummy. I don't know, babe. I don't know the real reason. Because she likes to fuck all the time, because she makes me feel extremely sexy, because she goes out of her way to let me know that she's attracted to me. He cannot tell you those things. He's smart enough to not tell you those things. That's why I can put it out there. That's what the type of things that lead to cheating. She makes him feel sexy. She makes him feel wanted. She goes out of her way to get that pussy to him. She goes out of her way to let him know that he appreciates the effort he puts into his tongue game. Those type of, could be a simple text, could be just a wet emoji under one of his pics. It could be a subtle way of communicating it to him. But it's thoughts like that really matter. That really have an impact on a person's day-to-day life and make their day. That's the reality of it. So, obviously, there's no way to cheat-proof a relationship. Nobody can do that. We all have to face the possibility of being cheated on. But it is also very possible to decrease your partner's desire to cheat and put them in a position where they're in a position in making the choice to cheat, where they won't feel it's worth doing, where they will choose their relationship instead of cheating. You can influence that. You can have them in a position where, I could get some head or I could fuck her, but I could go home and smash my girl too. It's a lot easier for the guy that knows he can go home and get some pussy to turn down pussy, instead of the guy that doesn't know when he's gonna get sex again. Always has to beg for it. Always gets told excuses. Never gets told the real reason why she's telling him no. See how that's going to drastically influence a person's decision making while he's in the heat of the moment, while he's horny, while he has the option presented to him. So you do have the ability to decrease his desire to do it. You can make him feel like it's not worth it, or I'm not willing to risk it. Instead of putting him on a path, well, shit, I really ain't got shit to lose. I'm already unhappy. I'm already losing. If I just leave, I'm going to completely lose. So I'll take this risk and accept the chance that I can possibly get away with it. Accept the chance that she may find out and I can get her to change, still forgive me and not leave. That's ultimately what's being weighed in that predicament. So just wanted to provide some clarity and some real perspective on how a lot of people make the choice to cheat, and how it's not really how it's portrayed or articulated when women are giving their thoughts on it or making their assumptions about how it's done. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully y'all learned something. Hopefully y'all can use this information to help you moving forward.